We actually have a couple of comments in the chat that kind of go along with that. One from Deborah, maybe you can chime in with kind of your a little bit more of your expertise on what she said. So she said, I have been conducting surveys and one-on-one interviews. I have a free Facebook group of about 280 members with about half engaged according to Facebook. So maybe I could treat this as it's a beta group and be able to find a way to transition away from this free community.
I don't recommend you treat the free group as your beta group because they haven't made an investment to join that group. So you don't actually know if they're going to be, if your plan is to ultimately charge for the heartbeat community, you don't know which of those people are going to be interested in the paid version. So it's great because you have a pool of people who you can ask and you've already interviewed them. So you probably already have in mind roughly like what your beta can look like, what's the difference between the free community and what the paid community is going to be. So I recommend that you post in that group and you say, hey, this is eventually what I'm going to do. And for now, we're doing this like special offer thing where I'm just figuring it out and I'm looking for 10 people to come along to this. Because of that, it's going to be like deeply discounted. You're going to get a lot more of my time and we're going to build this group together. So don't put like too much pressure on it, but the beta I think should be away from your free platform, if I understood that question correctly.
Such a good point. Thank you for that. I also had, also a couple other questions, one from David Good. How do you fight the belief that people have that they should get access for free? I get a lot of pushback that all this is available on Facebook for free and that they are offended when I ask if it's worth paying for. I'm trying to come up with something that is worth paying for to transfer people from my free meetup groups.
Yeah, it might not be worth it for them, and that's fine. Peter Block spoke at a summit I hosted a few months ago, and someone asked about pricing or something. And he said, if someone asks you, is it worth it? Your answer should always be, I don't know. It's up to them whether it's worth it. I think it's really important to surround yourself with other people who know it's worth it and who are encouraging you to build something that is worth it. You're always going to have people complaining, and those are always going to be the people who are not your right members. It's hard. It's like, I still get it from people also, but the more confidence you build in what you're actually building and what your members are getting from it, the less it'll bother you.
And I can definitely chime in on that. One of the things that over the years that I've seen a difference in my business is when you provide an extreme amount of value and people are constantly coming to your community, to your courses, etc., and they recognize the value, then they can move away from that sort of mindset. So in the beginning, when I'm giving away free stuff, it always has an enormous amount of value, so that when I sort of transition into the paid side of things, people really don't scoff at it because they know that I'm going to really be providing them with a lot of information, especially if they're familiar with me. Now, if it's somebody who's not familiar with you and they're scoffing, then I don't really want you around me anyway, but that's a whole nother matter. Just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, even what we tell people, like when I work with people that are just getting started at sales, is you're going to get people that tell you no, and it's going to happen. And so what I always recommend is ignore the individual no's and pay really close attention to the trends. It's okay if one person tells you no or two people tell you no. If 10 people in a row are telling you no, now maybe you need to update your offering, maybe you need to change some stuff. But you'll always get those individual no's. You're never going to have 100% success rate of everybody you talk to is a perfect fit.
Totally.
Good points. We have another comment in the chat too. Jean, do you want to actually just hop off of mute and just ask your question?
Yeah, that'd be great. So I currently do digital marketing, and it's mostly around how to grow your business with Google, like setting up and posting on Google Business, Google Ads, local SEO, WordPress websites, Google Analytics, etc. And I have all this knowledge, and I find that I'm constantly giving this away for free to my clients. Anyway, this is what makes me think about starting a community But I do have a group of clients that pay me monthly for these different services. I hear what you're saying about not offering this for free, and maybe that's what I'm thinking about doing here. I know I need to go outside of this current group of clients in order to hit that 50K or even amazingly 100K annually. So should I just, like what you were telling the previous person, should I just make my current clients aware of this community and ask them to join? I'm trying to figure out, how do I really start and grow this community? And I see you've got the steps. I'm excited about the masterclass. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're offering people a one-on-one service, and your next question is to figure out how it would help them to connect with each other with whatever they're doing. So it's not just about bringing a community together so that it's easier for you, but in their mind, what would be like, think of 2 specific clients that you have that you help one-on-one. What can they gain from connecting with each other? And that's where you design your community from. And then it's very possible that, and I know for a fact, like not all of them are going to be interested in whatever that connection piece is, but then you're designing it from that point of view, and then you'll attract the people who aren't one-on-one clients yet, but are interested in whatever the mission, whatever the reason for them connecting, how that helps them into your community.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I think I would probably start with the Google business stuff, because I think that could have a lot of benefits for being in a community. Like you could share your thoughts on what you're posting and things like that, similar to like groups I've seen out there where they have Instagram communities and things like that. So they would be able to, I think, benefit from talking to each other, local businesses, and sharing feedback and things like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.